Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to deep dive into the specs video. This is the Spartan Akribis. It needs no further introduction. It's already had two of those, right? Okay. What's that knife back there in the background? That is not your concern. That is a Jed Hornbeak, work of perfection. We'll get over that later. We may even use it in this video for a size comparison, but you should worry about that knife. That knife is mine. That's Jed Hornbeak fixed blade. That's premium premier. That is Grail territory stuff. You don't need to worry your pretty little head about. Okay, something else Grail territory stuff is this Akribis. I want to get into some measurements, man. That's all this video is going to be about, is measurements, size comparisons, and a price point. So let's zero out our calipers. We're gonna do them live. We didn't care about what Knife Center said the specs were. It looks like it's got a 13 or like a 0.13 inch blade stock. What does that transfer into? 1/8 inch. Yeah, it's got an 1/8 inch blade stock. It's semi-crowned, y'all. Could have went over that and finished, didn't I? It's got a little bit of a flat point right here, right above the thumb stud. Not sure if you'll be able to see that just good. All right, it's a little bit of crown though, right above the thumb stud. It's got that jimping. Okay, all right. The body, 3764. Don't tell me nothing. I don't like fractions I don't understand. Let's go back. .58 inches, so a little over a half an inch. Or hell, 6/10. What was that? What is that? What's that, Dave? 6/10 up at 3/5. Yeah, something like that. All right. So that's the overall width of the knife. How about the height of the blade? At its highest point is going to be 1.01 inches. The blade exactly. We know it's 3.5 inch blade, but what is it exactly? 3.42 inches, really. Okay. Cutting edge, exactly. Y'all see that? I'm sorry. 3.44 inches of cutting edge. So, man, maybe even a little bit more than that. I think I had a little cockeyed. Yeah, well, 3.4. Yeah, 3.44. We call that a 3.44. All right, the tools that you're going to need to take this thing apart will be T6 all the way around on the overlays. Whatever you call them, man. I call them overlays. You got one screw right here up underneath this pocket clip. You got one right here, one right here. On the other side, it's the same story. You got one here, one here, one here. This pocket clip will not fit the other side. You can't just take this apart and stick it on the other side if you want to left hand carry it. That would have been great, you know. But like you see, there's milling out right here. In order to get into this pocket clip, you're going to need a 3/16 inch Allen wrench or a hex driver. It's all about the weight. Man, I think I finally got the lights. I just don't know if they're gonna work for video, but the lights seem to be. It's got 4.9 ounces, so almost a 5-ounce knife. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do grams too. I've had some viewers actually ask for that. So if we got 4.9 ounces. That's 139 grams for whatever that's worth for you. Okay. Size comparisons. If there's any measurements that I missed out on that are important to you, let me know. I know a lot of people measure a lot of different stuff, and I don't mind measuring whatever. Like this knife is very much feels like a flat grind. It may be a slight hollow grind, but it feels like a flat grind to me. I'm gonna call that a flat. I'm calling that a flat. We'll see what Blade HQ or somebody says about it, but I'll definitely call it a flat grind. It does slice very well. No complaints there. All right. As we've covered before, it is 5 inches closed. It is 3.5 inch blade, making it 8.5 inches overall. This is a Jed Hornbeak, some sort of Japanese name that I can't pronounce properly. That's 9.5 inches, just for size comparison. That is liquid gold, is what this is made out of. Liquid gold and unicorn spirits. It's what was a red rat, by the way. Once you pay attention to this, it's been coming up later. You got a 5 inch closed length, 3.5 inch blade. It comes in just, I mean, a smidgen, man. Like let's see. We can't use smidgen. That's a Courtney term. That's not gonna go out that far. All right. I need her back here. 3.57. 4.97. So you're gonna have like a 8.53, 8.55, something like that. So this is gonna be like 8.5, and this is gonna be like 8.55, something like that. So I'm sorry, 8.5, 8.55. So just it's a little longer. It's a little longer, but it's not a whole lot. This is also a flat grind. This used to be a red rat one. You said it got the Os 8 blade in it. I got the S35VN blade. All I really did was change out the scales. So like, you know, the construction and all that stuff is still the same. That's I like the green better than the red. Why did you change out the G10 for the FRN? Man, I like RN. It's plastic. It's plastic. Love Spyderco's. They've been FRN in this for years. We got no problem with them. Okay, Chavez. I'm gonna take this out of the view. Main focal point. You can still feast your eyes upon it. This is a little over 8.25 inches, so the Akribis is about 1/4 inch longer than the Chavez Redemption 229. How about the Cold Steel 8015, the Demco? I used to call this a monster. A Big Daddy Demco. Y'all remember what I used to call it, the Big Daddy Demco? All right, this knife is going to be about the same size as that rat. It'll be 8.55 inches overall. It does have a very similar blade length, and it also has a very similar handle length. Now, big differences here will be the height of the handle, like the pocket real estate. That's going to come in at 1.10 inches, where at the highest point, believe it or not, this is going to come in at 1.10 inches as well. But was I measuring at the highest point there? Wow, what the hell? This knife's bigger than that knife, ain't it? What's going on? I guess this is technically be the highest point. 1.31 inches. So right here in the center, it goes down to about the same width as this. And here at the .41 inches. What are we at right here? 1.21 inches. So it looks like a bigger difference, in my opinion. Like it doesn't look like these are anywhere near comparable in size as far as silhouette goes, and I don't think they are. Really. They're both sitting on the ground. you got the 80-15 stands up higher. So let's talk about pocket real estate. 1.34 inches. That's your highest point of the knife. 1.35 maybe. And over here, highest point of the knife at 1.60 inches. That is a difference. Just for comparison, look at the Chavez. 1.42. So it's like right in between, right? So like the Chavez is like, I think somebody just come in. Yeah, it's 4.5 inches. So like the pocket real estate, like the thickness, this is actually thicker than the Chavez by a little bit, not including that pocket clip. Let's check that out. With that mule pocket clip, I believe it'll have a higher profile. So 0.79 inches thick. That way. About this. With that pocket clip, 0.76. Man, it just looks cleaner, don't it? Like it just looks, I mean, not necessarily cleaner, but it looks like more petite. But it's not. I don't guess, man. Like there's not a whole lot of difference in sizes here. We can see that closed, we're looking at a pretty significant difference as far as length goes. That kind of be smallest to large, going from the Chavez to the 80-15. Height. I think the Chavez will be a little taller. This might not be so easy to see on camera. But yeah, the Chavez will definitely be a little taller than the Akribis in the pocket. I'm gonna say, like having carried all of these knives, these two for a very substantial amount of time, I will say that the Akribis is much less noticeable in the pocket than either one of these. We know this was right at 5 ounces. Just want to go back. Of course, this Chavez, how many grams we got? 192. 6.8 ounces, so it's almost an entire 2 ounces heavier than the Akribis. And the 80-15, 6.6, so just a little bit lighter than the Chavez. Keep in mind that that's not a stock standard Chavez. It's it may be very similar in weight to a full tie Chavez 229 though. I'm not sure. I need to look that up. But okay, price point. This knife is $490 if you find it new. I've seen some on the secondary market. I wouldn't be afraid of. I did mention that earlier in another video, but you can buy these. I think I did. I may have actually chunked that video. I think I did. Okay, so you can find these on the secondary market at Arizona Custom Knives. There's 3 or 4 of them in stock. They do have the G10. I hear that the G10 gets pretty sharp right here. Jared Neve's got an excellent video on this knife where he was talking about this being a hot spot and the pocket clip kind of being a hot spot. I understand where he's coming from, with the pocket clip for sure, but the carbon fiber is not sharp. Where from where I'm, it may have been. I mean, this is an older knife. It could have been touched up already. But if it hadn't, the carbon fiber feels just fine. Like it doesn't feel like it's got any hot spots. In fact, I don't really feel any kind of hot spots on the knife at all, except for the spots that are supposed to be hot. And that spot is hot, baby. All right, but the pocket clip, it does have this ramp, and that ramp can dig into your hand. But if you saw the video of the tire stabbing, I was holding the knife like this, and when I made the stab, I didn't feel anything crazy. So I think that's probably about as hard as I'm going to use that knife is stabbing a tire, and no complaints. long term, you know, like I'll get back with you, you know, after I work with this knife for an entire day or so, or maybe even 6 weeks. I'll let you know how I feel about that pocket clip if it changes. I do have other knives that have horribly ramped pocket clips that do, you know, sometimes get on my nerves. Some of them I may have gotten rid of. I can't even remember what the example is, to be honest. Like I know the Iridium's got a pretty good ramp on it. That's fairly noticeable for such a thin profile knife. But I don't feel it at all. Regardless, might as well throw the Iridium up there too. So as you can see, the Iridium is very much smaller, by about a 1/2 inch smaller, and it's way thinner in profile to the Akribis. Okay, there are your size comparisons and your price points. Your price point. Your price point is $490 new. There are very few left. Most of them are in G10 that I can find. Most of your used ones are going to be in G10 that I can find, and they are on Arizona Custom Knives. There may be more out there that I just haven't found, but that's the name of the game. So like as of right now, that's the ones I know of as of the posting of this video, or as of the recording of this video. I think there's 3 available on Arizona Custom Knives, and GPK Knives had a couple of different ones in stock. Different colors. This one is the Meteorite, which I should have absolutely mentioned earlier in a different video. Okay, bear with me. We're gonna make this work. We'll catch you on the flip side.